Welcome everybody. Tim Bart's here, McArthur, Ford, and Salina. I got everything going off at once here. What is going on? Gotta love this technology. Not sure why I was doing that. So, welcome. Let me try this again. Welcome. Tim Bart's here, McArthur, Ford, and Salina, Kansas. We are in a new month now. It is now May 3rd, 2022. And I have some great things planned here. Didn't want to start off with everything going off, but as you can see on there, I have everything ready to go. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell as well. That way you get notified when we go live, not only Tuesday nights, but with any other of our videos that we have going live. And also, if you want to become a member, I actually have a graphic here where you did subscribe and you hit the notification bell right down there where you do subscribe. There's a join button down there on any of our videos, including this live stream right here, whether you're seeing this on mobile or a desktop. That join is what you're going to look for if you want to become a member of the YouTube channel. The names over here you're seeing with the little icons, those are that's how those people are getting those highlighted names, and the different icons. Different colors is how long they've been members, and Ridgeview is one of our first members there. He's our moderator, and you can see he is blue there. So when you get up there in that 8-9 months, I think over 6 months, you get that blue icon, and then they go from there. And so welcome the members into the group here. Also, we are going to be we're recording this as a podcast format as well. So if you're wanted to, you can go over, listen to the podcast on any of your different podcasting platforms. You can also find it on our website, McArthur.com/FordVideoGuy. You can see all the episodes in there as well. And if you are listening to this on our podcast, you want to watch it live, I do have some graphics this week, so you may want to come back and check out the first part of it on our YouTube channel. This is going to also, after it goes live, you can listen to it later. A lot of people watch this actually later. We have about 1,500 people that come and go throughout the live stream, but usually have about 10,000 people that do watch this throughout the week, so you can come back and watch this video later if you want to and catch up on things. Also, do want to highlight that if you have any questions, you can see the email addresses are down there. fordvideoguy@gmail.com if you have any questions that I can answer for you. If you have any sales related questions, go to that timothybarts@gmail.com and we can get that forwarded on to the right people to help you get a vehicle or whatever, if you have any other questions about getting a vehicle with us. So just want to point that out. Also want to point out my personal YouTube channel, because I really want to do some more videos with my personal channel. You can check that out, that link down in the description, Ford Video Guy. I have the Expedition coming soon, probably do some videos on it. Talk more about the Expedition later, but some other different videos too that I want to do in there, including some Lightning dedicated videos when I take a road trip with the Lightning and see how that goes. We're going to be doing some vlogging every single day on that channel as well. So check out some of the videos that are on there, more personal videos to the different vehicles I have that I own and such like that. So you can find those down there as well. And recently, we videos that have gone live this last week. 22 Bronco Sport Big Ben went live. It might have been actually last Monday, but there's a link in the description for that video if you want to check that one out. As well as on Saturday, the 22 Ford Ranger XLT complete guide video went live as well. Links to both of those are in the description. And this week, tomorrow, we're going to have a busy week. So today we're live streaming tonight. Tomorrow there'll be a 22 Roush Ranger video that will go live tomorrow night about the same time. I'll probably have it go live at 7 o'clock. And then Thursday night we're going to go live on Facebook. Link is in the description at 7, not 6 o'clock. So those that you want to watch and come over and ask questions on the Facebook live event on Thursday night, it's going to be at 7 p.m. this week, because we do have an event here from 5 to 7. So it's going to be too loud to do it at 6. So we're going to move it back to 7 o'clock and see how that goes. So join me then. And then, of course, 22 Bronco Sport Outer Banks video that Sarah's working on. I think she starts working on that tomorrow. Hopefully we can get that edited this week, and we can have that go live this Saturday as well. If not, it'll be probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. So speaking of next week, I will be in Tampa, Florida next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be at a conference in Tampa, Florida. Kind of funny, because about a year ago, last June, when they had this conference in Tampa, Florida, I did a video on the the Ford Maverick. It was one of the first ones that went out 6 a.m. that first morning. I recorded it the first night I got there, learned all the information on the Ford Maverick, produced the video, and it went live that next morning when Ford gave us the A-OK to be able to have our videos go live. And that was about a year ago, actually about 11 months, because it's about a month earlier this year. But I will be in Tampa, Florida, so visiting. I'll be there. Conferences Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I don't fly out till 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. So yeah, so I'll be in Tampa. Everybody in Florida, I'll be coming to see you guys. So I'll be there, and it'll be nice. Make sure you have that sunshine waiting for me when I get there. Also, do have a video project I want to work on, and I'd like to do that this week and have it probably go live next week. And that is, I want to kind of do a video on some of the changes that Ford should do on the 23 model year Maverick. There's some things that came up, some things that I got to thinking about. I'm like, they really need to change the some things on the Maverick. So one of the things that I've kind of noticed, because my daughter has a Maverick, is the let me show you this, the storage. So that storage area right there, right? It is a full bent seat. To get to that, you have to lift the seat completely up. Well, if you have a car seat, you get no underseat storage whatsoever. So you lose it all. So my daughter has one car seat in her vehicle, and she has no underseat storage that she can access. Again, there's also those fit systems in there, 8 of them. Can't access any of those. So, yay. So that's some things that, Ford needs to think about. Why not a 60-40 split bench seat? Then that person can still access 60% or 40% of the storage space under there. Or why not make it a 50-50 split bench seat? Something like that. So that's something to think about. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe you guys can correct me, where is the jack located on the Maverick? On the F-150 and the Ranger, it's behind that seat, right? Which, again, is a full bend seat. So I don't think you can get to the jack unless you remove the car seat. So if my daughter has a flat tire, she needs to change a tire, which she knows how to change a flat tire, by the way. I showed her. I don't think she can get to it unless she moves the car seat out. And if she's on the highway, I don't want that happening. You got the little wheel running around back there, and you got the car seat you got to remove to move the back seat. So next time she gets the car seat out, she's going to remove that back and put it in the bed somewhere. But these are some things that Ford needs to think about. I got another list. So what I want you to do is email fordvideoguy@gmail.com, put in the subject 23 model year changes, and tell me what you think should be changed as well. I have some other things on my list too. I don't want to go into too depth into this because I want to save this for the video, but Copilot 360 being standard on all of your vehicle, on all of them, about everybody wants it anyway. Why not? I think the XL should have some sort of convenience package that includes cruise control and power mirrors, so that you can have the sliding rear window. I like to see, my daughter would like to see a fits attachment on the passenger side, on the side of the console on the passenger side, so you can put a trash can over there and hook it in over there. Why not add more of those fit systems around the vehicle? Love to see a bed utility package. So let's say on the XL, on the luxury package, let's divide that up. Let's make some of that stuff part of a bed utility package, giving you, those bed rails, giving you the spray and liner if you want to. Actually, that should be optional. So all those different things, why not just make those 2 different packages? Make like a cold weather package that gives you the heated seats, heated dual zone climate, heated mirrors, that kind of stuff. So I will. How you doing? So I noticed I got a shout out there. So it did tag me. Yeah, if you tag @McArthur there, I could see it real nice. Sarah did that as an example there. So so hopefully Will must be watching me on the screen there. But those are some things. So drop your different suggestions down there. And I'd love to do a video that we can kind of hopefully get out to Ford. I'll send it to the brand manager. I'll even tag Mike Levine, and we'll get this out and get people knowing that there's some things that should be changed on the Maverick to make it better for everybody, right? Okay, let's get into scheduling notes real quick. Now, don't forget, this week is a cleanup week, which means that, if dealers that have allocations, they're going to be left. They're wanting to fill in some slots here with some of the different allocations. So there won't be a lot of scheduling this week. Next week is the beginning of May's production, which we're going to talk about in our topic for tonight, which is in about 20 minutes. But this week there are going to be some models that are scheduling for dealerships that have allocations, and I'll go through some of ours. Ford Edge is going to be scheduling. Ford Expedition as well. The F-150, we do have 6 allocations that have not been used yet. Looks like we do have 4 F-150s previewing as of today. See what that looks like tomorrow. Maverick is supposed to be scheduling this week. Mustang Mach-E as well, and we do have 1 allocation. Looks like it'll probably get pushed to next week or next month because we don't have any previewing. Ranger, we have 0 allocations. Ranger this month, we didn't. I don't know if you remember, it is the Forest Edition, the Splash Package Forest Edition that's scheduling. So that's why we don't have any left. Transit, we do have 1 allocation left, and we have 1 previewing. It's one of the last orders. We're going to talk about this that needs to be scheduled. We have 3 vans that were ordered for a local teen center, and 2 out of the 3 scheduled already. We need that last one scheduled this week. Transit Connect, Nautilus is also scheduling, so those are all scheduling. We have no allocations for those. So those are the vehicles, those models that are scheduling this week. Hopefully you're lucky and you can get picked up in that cleanup week. Usually cleanup week is going to be a vehicle that doesn't have any constraints, by the way, typically, because if you didn't use your allocations by now, it's because something was holding up your orders for being scheduled. So more than likely, unless the dealership made a change on some orders, it's going to be something with no constraints. So that's usually why that works. Otherwise, those will get pushed and carried on over to next month. All right, let's talk about some order guide changes. We have a lot of changes to the order guides. A couple questions here. Let's see. Pat says, I got some great news last week. I got a scheduled date for my hybrid XLT. June 27th is my date. Cool. Of course, I will be out of the country till July 11th. Well, you'll be back by the time it gets built into your dealer, right? So, and then William said, "Hi, how high is the roll-up hard cover, and how wide?" Not sure when you say how high. You maybe when you roll it up, how high does it go on there? I'm not sure. My daughter has one. We could maybe get some pictures for next week. But it rolls up. It actually is. It sits flat when you have it rolled. When you have it put down, I mean it's barely above that the bed rails. And then when you roll it up, it probably goes about halfway up the glass, maybe. So, all right, let's get into some order guide updates. A lot of the order guides were updated this month, and so we're going to go through those. I have them right here. So first off is the Transit. I didn't really go through the Transit. A lot of people, if you want a Transit, you got to be specific on that. There's a lot of different things, so I didn't go through the Transit. But on the Ranger, the only thing that was changed on the Ranger was they revised where it says auto start stop removal in places as an option. They actually added the words option will be added to all orders. So they are from here on out going to be, that's a job order 2 change. That'll be put on all of the Rangers. I say Maverick Rangers. Also, they did delete a couple different, the crossbed toolboxes. They removed the premium and the aluminum one from there, so you can't order those. And also they said the stock orders now available on 300A, so dealers can get those stock orders. Move this over here. All right, now on to the Explorer. And actually I want to kind of highlight some things on the Explorer, so we're going to go over here so you can, oops, that's not what I wanted. Hold on a second, let me go back here. All right, let me go back. Oh, I got that. Stupid. There we go. All right, so on the Explorer, there are several different things that have updated. So let me show you these. I need to actually come off of this. Give me just a second. There we go. That's what I meant to do. All right, so there's a couple packages that were added to the order guide for Job 3. Now, I'm not sure when Job 3 is going to come into effect here, but these are some technology packages that are being added to the order guide for this. Now, the first one here I want to highlight is the XLT Tech Package. Now, this package is going to be, it's a $2,500 package that's going to be available to be added. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to be added to retail orders that are in there because Explorers are closed off. So these major changes for what they call Job Order 3 weren't available when you ordered your vehicle. They just became available. So the first one here is the XLT Tech Package 68D that's available. You can see the list of the equipment there. Wireless charging pad, the 12-speaker Beano audio sound system, 360-degree camera, tow package is included, auto dimming rearview mirror, power. The mirror's really upgraded, power, heat, LED turn signals, security approach lamp, everything like that. garage openers, front sensors, and even the grill updated. And that is on the 202A only, not available with the Sport Appearance package or the Tow package. Now, all these packages I did look are not available on the order guide yet, or not available to switch over yet. So I don't know if they're available for stock orders or not, but that is something that's available. So Timberline also has a tech package. It's $1,700. You can see a lot of the same features from the XLT package. A couple that maybe aren't, probably because they're already available on the Timberline edition. That's why they're not available. So there you go. It's a little bit cheaper package, but that includes some of the same features. Limited also has a tech package you can get for $1,000. Now you'll notice this one says only available on the 301A and the 310A. Your hybrid version gets you the 10-inch, the portrait style screen. Also gets you the 14 speaker B&O 980 watt B&O audio sound system. It does not have the multi-contoured seats, so they kind of did away with that option for Job 3. So because of that, they have this nice little limited tech package that gives you the bigger screen. So which is a nice addition there. Some other tech packages that you have the premium tech package has now been changed from being standard on the King Ranch and Platinum to being optional. And we'll talk about that because added as you can add this optional package 65K to the ST401A King Ranch and Platinum, and that includes, same as it did on the Limited, the 10-inch portrait style screen, as well as a 14 speaker 980 watt B&O audio sound system. So you can then decide to go as a customer, do I want the multi-contoured seats? Then you add the premium technology package, which gets that plus these two options, or do you go with the tech package or neither one? So it is now optional on the King Ranch and Platinum instead of being included in there because of the we're talking about part constraints here. Also, there is a wheel available now on the ST line, so added an optional 20-inch black painted alloy wheel on the ST line. The same wheel is currently on the ST401A, so you understand that it does not come with the red brake calipers, painted calipers and brake pads like it would be on the ST though. And then there's also a couple of other things. ST appearance package was added, so you do have this one here, so you can add this appearance package. Add some great features, leather seating surfaces, front floor. So you're getting stitching, either race red or Raptor blue accent stitching on your leather seats, on your floor mats, on your door trim, steering wheel stitching, the center console armrest stitching, and such like that. And so the noted there is ST41A only, not available on the with the second row bench seat. So, and then I think this is the last one here. Nope, a couple others. We do have the Active Park Assist 2.0. That's option 90C. Previously standard on the ST41A and Platinum. Now it's a standalone option. We know why. Park constraints. So basically, for those that are willing to wait, you can add this option on there. But otherwise, they're going to take it off of the orders so that way they can get scheduled. And then we do have these other ones. So a couple other things that were removed as well, previously optional, and some other things that were put on there. So a couple other options there. So those were all added to this job order 3, as well as they added jewel red metallic tinted clear coat, and they took away burgundy velvet metallic tinted clear coat. There you go. Let's see if I go back to this, if it's going to give me all those things. No, my subscribe's now still going. Wherever that's at. Here we go. All right, we'll hide those so it won't keep coming up on us. Okay, on the F-150, there were some changes to it. Added the multi-contoured seats with the active motion removal. So that has been added to the King Ranch 601A as well as the Platinum and Limited because they were standard on those. So now they added that to delete that off there to get your scheduled multi-contour seats. It's a big problem right now. Also, they did revise the bed tailgate lock as a dealer installed option. Now it says say not available with the moonroof and tailgate on the Raptor, so you can't get that bed tailgate lock on that. So keep that in mind. Also, speaking of that, that was also on the F-150 Lightning. It was added. That was revised. That is not available on the XLT 312A or Lariat or Platinum probably because you have the remote tailgate up and down. So probably took that off for that reason. Also on the Platinum, multi-contoured seats with active motion removal option was added. So if you're out there and you have a Lightning on order, a Platinum, you're not seeing it get scheduled. Um, it comes with the multi-contoured seats. If you don't care about that, you can actually add that option, have your dealership add it, and then maybe it can get scheduled. And then the last thing I noticed the change was on the tow tech package. There's a option or a feature part of that called the Smart Trailer Tow Connection that was removed from the trailer tow package or tow tech package, and that's because it is standard equipment, even on the Pro version. So I noticed it was added to the standard Pro version equipment. Mustang. The only change on the Mustang on the order guide was that they on the Mach 1 standard equipment page that they said LED fog lamps and rear parking sensors are not available on the Mach 1. So that was, I think the Mach 1 order guide says it takes this equipment and adds these other features. At the bottom of that it says LED fog lights and rear parking sensors are not available on the Mach 1. Why wouldn't rear parking sensors be? I don't know. Anyway, I'll check that out more a little bit later. On the non-list reserve, or the non-list 22 Lincoln non-list, where you see any mention of the Ultra Comfort seats, they did actually take away it. At first, it was not available with the Lincoln Play. They took that wording out, so it is available with the Lincoln Play. They just had messed up on that, I think. On the Navigator, the only thing that they changed on that was that, excuse me, on the Active Park Assist 2.0 Prep Kit. They mention in here that the client will receive a credit for the Active Park Assist 2.0 Prep Kit feature and will have the opportunity to purchase Active Park Assist 2.0 at a later date. I think before it said that it was going to be given to them. Now that you're getting a credit and you have to purchase it. So basically, just in case the customers don't go back, they don't want them to be out that money evidently, and so they gave a credit, and now you have to go in yourself and pay for that. And then on the Lincoln Aviator, the only thing they really meant they added there was on the Grand Touring editions where it's a plug-in hybrid. They added the word Lincoln in front of mobile power cord, but they also did change the wording on the grille. So the grille looks a little different. So it's a bright chrome upper with a plated satin chrome finish surround. So as you can tell, I'm very thorough. I want to go over that. Also, this week on the dealers get a price increase on the Lincoln Nautilus and the Aviator. So on the Lincoln Nautilus base, reserve, and black label, the base prices went up $535. Don't forget, you will be price protected. We're going to talk a little bit about that here in just a second. And Aviator base price went up $1,060 on the 23 Aviator. So just to make sure you're aware of that. I don't know if I have enough time before the Is It True. We're going to try to roll through the Lightning information. I do have information on the Charge Station Pro on how customers will get these. Now, just to remind you, a standard range Lightning will not get the 80 amp Pro charger, but you can purchase it for $1,310 through Sunrun, or you can get the 48 amp Ford connected charge station for $800. Link is in the description for where you can get those at ford.com/chargers. Now, for those with the extended range, you can purchase the charger ahead of time so you can have it installed in your house. You would contact Sunrun prior to it and have them install it. So you have to set up a contract with Sunrun to have it installed and everything. I don't think you have to purchase ahead of time, but if you do not end up taking delivery, Sunrun will contact you and tell you to either return it undamaged or pay the $1,310 if you want to keep the charger. So, but you can also get the charger after you get the vehicle. And I was actually surprised they're doing this really quick. So one day after you take delivery. So once you do paperwork on the vehicle, then Ford sends that information to Sunrun. The next day, Sunrun will contact you to have it installed. So it's a pretty quick process. In fact, they say if you don't get in touch with you within 5 days of you purchasing the vehicle, they will send the Pro Charger to you. So you want to make sure that you return that phone call that next week. So it really can be a fast process in getting that installed. I'm not sure on how, I mean, at least them coming out, that might take a process and such. But I think I'm going to try to contact them ahead of time and take care of it and do it that way. So just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind the intelligent backup power where you can back up, the truck can back up the house. That is an extra charge. You have to pay for the IBP, the intelligent backup power from Sunrun, to be able to use it, and you need that 80 amp Pro charger as well.
So keep that in mind. Installation for these you will have to pay for installation separate from the systems. So keep that in mind. And by the way, the intelligent backup power is not included with your Lightning. It is $3,895 plus the install fee. So keep that in mind. So got some information about that. All right, 5 minutes till, according to my timestamp, should be, is it true? So this week, someone had emailed me or tagged me on Facebook or somewhere and said that their dealer said that the Lariat Luxury and Copilot 360 are on hold, and we only got one Maverick with the luxury package all year. So this dealership's telling the customer that they can't get it. And also, I don't think they're telling them that they can remove it either. So, which is really funny. So that is not true. We had a bunch of Lariat Luxuries scheduled last week. They're going to be built for the month of June. Plenty of them. And I think maybe even the last week of May. Plus, there's plenty of you out there. You get more than one at a dealership. So that is not true. I wanted to clarify that and let people know that. So, couple things. We have about 4 minutes before we get into our topic. And I do want to cover a couple things that maybe can help people out. So if you're out there and we talked about the email last week from Ford that you get that you might want to make some changes. If you have the luxury packages, it's taking longer than normal. If you want to take some of those things off, then contact your dealer. Well, I've had some customers reach out to me and said, well, my dealer said they can't make changes to it. It's a priority 2 or something, and they're not able to make changes. So I'm helping you guys out. So here is how you make changes. If your order is a priority 2 and your dealership tells you you cannot make changes, this is how you make changes. You might want to screen grab this. So there you go. So I typed this up myself. Basically what you do on a priority 2 order, if you want to make changes, is you change that priority code from 2 to 10, 10 or 19, 10 to 19, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anything between 10 and 19. So change that priority code from that 2 to the 10. You make your option changes. So if you want to take off the luxury package, you have them take off the luxury package. Then you click the submit button, which that submits the order to Ford. It'll update, it'll submit the order as a priority 10 at that point. Then those changes are made, your order's in, but now it's setting at a 10 instead of a 2. So next thing you have to do is the dealership needs to email their Ford zone rep, and they need to ask them to change the priority code back to priority 2 on that order. They'll know exactly what you're talking about because we've done a lot of these. So then you'll make sure that when you email them that you give them the order number, the body code, which on the Maverick is a W8E or a W8F. It's an EcoBoost all-wheel drive. And then the customer's last name, first initial, and those changes are made. That simple. So done a bunch of these myself. Every time I email them, they say, okay. And usually it's not even within hours. As soon as I send that email, Ford rep says, okay, I'm going to send it on. They send it on to the people that handle the ordering. And then they take care of everything, and it's then usually it's back to 2 within a day, not even a day. So sometimes it's even by that night. So anyway, and then price protection. So how to claim price protection for dealers. I had a dealer reach out. I appreciate the dealer that reached out because some dealers that reach out are telling me that I need to quit telling you guys about price protection, that it can't be claimed, this and that. And this one reached out and said, hey, help us out. We're struggling seeing that credit come back to us down the road. So somebody had said that they weren't seeing those. Now it does take about 60 days for you to receive this. It does come over on the dealer payment statement, and that's where you would see that credit for your order. So let me show you this here. This is actually an email that I received that the person that does our ordering received from our Ford rep. So pretty simple. Does go through the requirements for a retail order there to be protected. Of course, it has to be sold to the same person that ordered it. And the receipt date must remain the same. This is important. You can tell it's important. She put it in bold there. Receipt date must remain the same. So if you make a change to your order that changes the receipt date to a later receipt date after the price protection date, then you won't be price protected. So, and some of the things, that second section there, shows you what amendments will change the receipt date, and that is your body code. Changing the body code, that would be if you change from XLT to Lariat. Actually, that's your PEP code. But your body code would be like, in this case, if you go from front wheel drive to all wheel drive on the Maverick. On the PEP code would be if you change from an XLT to Lariat trim, that will change it. So, and this is the same for all vehicles, so it doesn't matter. So, and then it says there order amendments that will not change the receipt date, removing packages, standalone options, like the spray and bed liner, the tonneau covers, luxury packages, those will not change that. So, anyway, so just so you know that. And then also it says, remind you, it says dealers must retain copies of all DORAs. This will be needed for the dealer to correctly price the vehicles at the time of delivery. So that just helps the dealership to make sure they get the right price so they get refunded back that money. So I wanted to make sure I clarified that. Now it's time for our production information of our scheduling, what Ford likes to call wholesale, what they call it. So let's go through this little packet here that don't think they mind me sharing. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about are the production numbers. Little rough on some models, I will tell you that. And oh, by the way, we did get information and some updates on a couple different models here. We do have the balance out for the Ranger now is 10/7, so October 7th. We didn't have that last month, so that is October 7th now. So just so you guys know that. Of course, we know Expedition Ranger orders are closed off, no longer. In fact, a lot of them, the orders are closed off. And we have 5 models right now that you can actually order. The rest of them are closed off for the year. Bronco Sport you can still order. Edge you can order. Escape and Mustang you can order, as well as F-150. But I will tell you, if you want to order an F-150, you need to hurry, because they did tell us that that's probably going to close off soon. So I would say probably by the end of the month, F-150 is going to get closed as well. So if you're thinking of getting an F-150, now is a great time to make sure you put your order in. So keep that in mind there. Most dealers like us, and we're doing no obligation ordering, so if you order it and it comes in, you don't like it, we'll sell it. So we can't get any inventory otherwise, right? So all right, so let's talk about production numbers now. Now this month's allocations are based on for some models it's for June production, some it's for July. So on the Mustang, it is going to be for Shelby only, and we're going to talk more about Shelby numbers in a little bit. There are about 5 models that are not going to schedule whatsoever this month. So if you have an Escape, gas, hybrid, or even plug-in, you're not going to do any scheduling for Escape this month. Mach-E is not going to schedule this month. Ranger's not going to schedule this month. Bronco will. Half of your allocations from last month were used last month. The other half will be for this month. I think we have 7 that get rolled over for Bronco for this month. But there's several others that will be producing. Edge, the plan is 11,500. Explorer, 14,000. Expedition, 3,500. F-150, 18,000 for June production. Super Duty, 21,000 for June. Maverick, 2,800 for July production. Bronco Sport, 5,000. So low numbers for Maverick, but remember, June production is 10,000. So if you combine the 2 months, it's close to what they've been doing on a monthly basis, which is about 55 to 6,000 is what they've been doing most months. So when you add, June and July together, you're over 13,000. And if you divided that in half, you're about 6,500 a month. And that's pretty normal what they were doing. So I was like looking at it going, man, this is a low month. We have to remember last month what it was. June production is 10,000. And probably what will happen is some of the June orders, for those of you who have June orders, plug your ears, might get pushed back to July. Who knows? And maybe that's their plan, is to have a low number there because some of them are going to get pushed into July. That might be what's going on there. I don't know. Just know that's just a theory. That there's no basis behind that. That's just me talking. All right, let's talk about some of the different breakdown of some of the models. If you want to get some information, if you have one on order, GT500, most dealerships will only get one of those, and they're doing 160 carbon fiber track packages and 142 base GTs for a total of 302. So that's kind of the mix on the GT500. Transit Connect will be for July production, COVP only, which means retail orders, custom orders, no stock orders for the Transit Connect. About 1,700 units, 1,400 van, and 300 wagon. Keeping on with the Transit theme, Transit this month, July build out, which means this is where they're going to stop producing 22s. and it's COVP only, so retail orders only. This month, 1,726 total. They said, once your orders are scheduled for the May scheduling, to be contacting your customers because the rest of those are going to get pushed over to 23 startup. So those orders will get pushed into 23 and to communicate that with your customers. Maverick, we just talked about. The breakdown of the 2800 is about 1,500 gas and about 12,000 hybrid. So that's the breakup, about 60-40 again, same number we've been seeing on a lot of those there. Nothing else, although it says to look at your commodity constraints, which we talk about every week, it seems like. F-150 Raptor, they're going to produce schedule about 1,500 for June production. And they also did remind us to tell customers to make sure they add that 66D option, which is a tailgate applique delete on their orders. And then also the constraint on blue interior package is 18%, and the constraint on the Raptor 37 Performance is 20%. So very low constraint there. All right, Johnny's in the house tonight. I think I saw my friend Rachel in here as well. She's from down in Florida. So she's in the house. She just got a Maverick not too long ago. All right, Super Duty. They're going to be scheduled this month for June production. COVP only, which means retail orders only. 21,000 total. And then there's constraints in there, which we can talk about in a little bit. I'm just going to hold that off to the end. All right. F-150 scheduling for June production, 17,000, not including the Raptor. And then also, to check the commodity constraints for anything there. So, all right, what did Johnny have to say here? I always like to check and see what Johnny has to say because he's a pretty smart guy. Huge news: my local dealer only has one more Maverick 22 that will get a VIN. The others will be rolled over to 23. Ouch. So, and you ordered pretty early too. So, yeah, we don't have any of that information yet. Our assumption is they're still going to schedule for a couple more months. So, maybe Canada is a little different. So. All right, and then Rich said, I have a Wave 3 Lightning on order, and I called marketing department and got a build date, but they said still nothing. Well, if you got a build date, it should be good. All right. Well, okay, just reading some of the notes here from Johnny. So, anyway, all right, F-150 Lightning. A couple things to note there is last week was the deadline for those that got the Wave 6 invites to convert those over or extend them. If you didn't, you lost your order. Hopefully you guys did that. There will be cleanup for May and June for 22 allocation. So if some people extended those Wave 6 invites, then they have some other allocations. If the dealer has allocations, they'll get some more invites out to fulfill the rest of their orders. Or their production, I should say. Edge, June production that they're scheduling for in May for 11,500 units. We said that. So, and then there's a note in here about the steering wheel bezel, but it says through April, and we're into May, so I'm not sure if that really is relevant. So I must have just carried that over from last month. Explorer, July production is what's scheduling this month. 14,000 units there, and of course we talked about Job 3 changes and everything. Not sure how quick those changes are going to be able to be made. But they did give us some sheets on that stuff, which I showed you already. Expedition, they are scheduling for July production. Retail only, 3,500 units. And they did mention they are going to be beginning with May production, and after all expeditions, including retail, fleet, and stock orders, will be produced without the controls on the back like the Explorer, including the heated seat controls. So keep that in mind. And also on the Expedition Platinums, orders are being produced without the multi-contour massaging seats as well. So keep that in mind. But my Expedition is still sitting in Kentucky. So if anybody out there watches this, has any kind of controller clout, can you put a chip in that Expedition and get it sent this way? You know what I mean? Happy wife, happy life. Come on, I need that Expedition here. My wife needs... her lease is already up. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. If I need to extend it, I'm probably just going to buy it and then use it as a trade-in at this point. I'm already a month over my lease end date, so I need that Expedition. So get it up here. And Ford, by the way, if you do send it, you get it this way. I plan to do videos on it.
I'm gonna do walk around videos on the 22 Expedition XLT trim. I'll do some rides, I'll do some test drives, whatever I need to. Get that here so I can have my wife driving it, so make her happy. All right, Bronco Sport. They're scheduling for July production. Again, we talked about that 5,000 units. Something to note though, on the base trim is not going to be available for stock orders. So dealers that have available allocations for stock, they cannot order a base. Not sure why they would anyway. Big Ben is the trim to go with there for your stock inventory anyway. Badlands though, they are increased stock availability. So I look at this, and since they're built at the same plant, why don't we just shift over to the Maverick? If you're to where you can now, you freed up most of the custom orders and you've made almost all of them, and you need stock inventory and to schedule those, why don't you just pull over and let's get some Mavericks across the line? But also don't forget, Bronco Sport Badlands customers are eligible to go to the Bronco Off Rodeo. I don't know if you knew that, but if you did purchase a Bronco Badlands, you can go to the Bronco Off Rodeo down in Texas. Great. You need to go to that. It's really fun. They let you drive Bronco Sports as well as Broncos. It'll be a great time for you. And if you have a Bronco and you didn't know this and you purchased a Bronco, don't forget you're eligible to the Bronco Off Rodeo as well. And you definitely need to go to that. It's a blast. I have yet to go for my purchase. I went as a dealer panel, but I did not go for when I purchased. So I plan to do that at some point here. All right. One other thing I want to mention that was in here was that the F-150, Ranger, and Bronco Sport, there is an accessory program. So if you want to purchase accessories, you can get an extra incentive. So if you, right in here, it says the eligible dates is from April 19th to July 5th. If you purchase during that date or order within that date, you can still order. Well, you can't order the Ranger now, but you can order the Bronco Sport or the F-150. So if you order those in this window, then you can get extra money off on accessories to be purchased from your dealer. So that's the goal, is you have to purchase them from your dealer. So F-150 and Ranger gets $1,000, and Bronco Sport gets $500, and this is for the Dallas, Houston, Memphis, Kansas City regions. So probably should have said that at the beginning. So it's for those regions only, but it's kind of a cool little incentive program if you want to, get some accessories there if you live in those areas. Or I think, I don't know if it has to be dealers within those areas, but something to keep in mind. Something else to keep in mind, if your dealer contacts you and is asking you to add some dealer installed options, it's because Ford is trying to push some of those. I noticed they're not getting that many that people are selecting those on their orders, and they're wanting to kind of see a higher take rate on that. So if your dealer contacts you and asks you if you want to add some dealer installed options, that's probably why. It's because they're incentivizing the dealers if they get some dealer installed options added to orders. So that's probably why they're contacting you and asking you about that. Don't feel like pressure you need to do that. They do get like a spiff or something, but it's only like a couple bucks. So, all right. I think I've covered it all. So, hey, I thought I did that in record time, 12 minutes. All right, so let's jump into questions. Yeah, I do have the commodity or constraint list here, 4 different things. Of course, it's always so small, so I can go ahead and go over any of those there. I'm gonna have to watch this video later because Johnny was in there chatting with you guys, and I want to see what he had to say because Johnny always has good stuff to say. All right, so. Any questions, don't forget tag @McArthur. If you posted a question while I was rambling on and talking, I didn't see it. So you might go ahead and post that question again so I can answer that. Let's just, while I'm waiting for questions, let's go over some of the Maverick constraints. They actually are the same as last month. They have not changed any. So the Lariat, the XLT luxury package is still constrained to 14%. Lariat luxury is 13%. Copilot 360 is 32%. So still pretty low numbers. Hybrids 40%. How that goes. And then all your bed accessories. So let's talk about that. In fact, splash guards is something you need to be aware of. 4% constraint there. If you have splash guards, that's something you can get put on afterwards. Bed extender is 3%. Bed tray liner is 1%. Spray and bed liner is 37%. Not too bad. Protective fender film is 2%. Bed mat is 2%. And your bed covers 2%, 3% for the hard trifold, and then 12% for the soft folding. So You know, again, if you have any bed accessories, you're better off taking them off your order if you haven't been scheduled yet. If you've already been scheduled, don't worry about it. These don't affect you. Just keep that in mind there. Yes, actually, I think I have it planned, Johnny. I just read your comment here about meet up at the off rodeo. So what I want to do is when I get my lightning this summer, I want to take a road trip and I want to see how hard it is to travel. And maybe even I'd like to go to either I want to go to Moab or I want to go to New Hampshire because there's a long distance away, and I want to drive there in the lightning and then go to the event, the off rodeo, and drive back. So that's my plan. So hopefully I want to get my son to go with me and ride along with me and go. So that'll be should be fun. So that's the plan. So if you haven't gone yet, maybe we can meet up in New Hampshire or something. All right. CJ said if I wanted to add the tow package while removing the Lux package, would I lose price protection? You would not lose it. Of course, you might. You would. I think the way I understand it is the tow package was not something that the price increased on, so you would still be good. So taking the Lux package off, you don't lose price protection on anything that was already on your build. So if you say you were adding something that was a price increase, like moonroof, okay, that is something you can add to your build right now. It would be priced at $995 instead of the $795 it was prior to the price increase, if that makes sense. But everything else you can only take off the add-on, and the tow package was not something that the price went up on. So it was just the luxury packages, Copilot 360, and of course the base prices on those. But all the other prices will stick. Should not. They'll all be price protected. All right. Dennis said ordered Maverick XLT Lux Hybrid 7.8. If it switched to 23, will I have price protection for 22 model? We really don't know. I hate to speculate anything right now. We don't know how that goes. I know that they don't want to be able to price protect models that get switched over. That's why they're trying to cut off those dates so they can get everything produced. Like the reason a lot of these models are closing off early, like now instead of the summer, is because they don't want those orders to roll over into the next year because they don't want to have to price protect and roll those more orders over and try to keep track of that. Like on the Bronco, when it rolled over into 1 year, they price protected. And then when they did a job order 2, where it came back over and they had to do another price increase, what they did is the people that had the 21 got a rebate of the difference for 21, and then they price protected for that year. So they don't want to roll them over. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that, but they usually will price protect. They usually want to make sure they take care of the customers. And so if you order and that goes into 23, they'll do something to price protect or something like that. If they see that, people with luxury packages, well, that's about what was it about? It went from $2,345 to $2,500, like $150. So what they might do instead is make sure those customers get a rebate specific to them that gets put on their build. So if the price does go up, they'll make sure they get a rebate as well, or a private offer that'll be on their order. So when they go to do the incentives. All right, Suresh said, I ordered Maverick, a Lariat, EcoBoost with all packages in Toronto with hard tonneau cover on November 23rd. Removed tonneau cover based on your note. Got VIN today for June build. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad when sometimes I almost cringe when people say I took it off based on your comments, and I'm like, it hasn't been scheduled yet. I'm like, oh no, sorry. All right. All right. Vern says, how many EcoBoost Lariat Lux are in front of my order D65L? Is there any hype on it? Is there any hope I get a 22? Well, let's look. See benefits of being a McArthur customer. All right. Let's check this out. We have unscheduled orders as of the end of the month. And you said yours was an EcoBoost. Yeah, let's look at our EcoBoost orders. We have 111 EcoBoost orders yet. And yours was D65L. And you're pretty far down there. Yeah, you ordered in January. You ordered in the second to last day. So having a luxury package on there will probably hurt. More than likely, yours will get pushed to 23 the way it's in there. So sorry to tell you that, but
more than likely it'll probably get pushed to 23 unless you take off those packages. And it's really up to you, what you want to do. So, and I don't know. They are building more EcoBoost orders, and I mean we're getting close. I think the orders we have left, we're starting on December almost. We have 5 orders prior to December 8th that need to be scheduled. Outside of that, on the EcoBoost orders, we're working on December's orders. So, all right, next. Oop. All right. How long does production normally take? My MAV has been in production since 426. If you had a luxury package, sometimes it can be a couple weeks. That's usually I found some people have told me that as well. So, all right, how long is the offer good for off rodeo? 1 year from the yeah. What I've been told is 1 year from the. In fact, they actually mentioned off rodeo because I guess they aren't getting the. Sorry, I'm running off my mic here. They're not. I don't think they're getting the best like attendance to the off rodeo events. So they're trying to they actually have an incentive. I didn't mention it because it's more an incentive for the dealer than it is for the customer, I think. But they did mention a contest. Let's see if there's any information here because I didn't read this. Um, Registration will earn your. Okay, so it doesn't actually mention that. You can get that information on the Bronco Off Rodeo website, but I believe last I knew it was 1 year. And I know that when you do, because like if you get a Raptor or you get like any of the ST performance vehicles, then you get like a special course like for Raptors. You get an off road, training and such like that. And they've always in the past they've always been 1 year, so it's good for 1 year. So. Yeah, so that's why I plan on trying to do mine this summer. So, all right. Fun fact: we live on a 3-block residential street in a small suburb in eastern North Carolina, and there are 3 Mavericks parked in different driveways on our street. None of us had ever met, so that's pretty cool. So, getting those Mavericks out there. I know we see a lot of them around town, but like last month I think we sold 60 Mavericks last month, and 12 were from Kansas, and I think a good chunk of those were Salina, Kansas, for those. So when people don't take them, then customers locally come in, they get a benefit from that sometimes. So all right. Jack said, "Hey Tim, just ordered a Bronco Sport Outer Banks with tech package and Copilot 360. Since the Bronco Sport is built on the same plan as the Maverick, can I expect the 360 to delay?" No, which I don't understand why it's constrained on the Maverick but not on the Bronco Sport because I think it isn't. From what I understand, the Copilot 360 Assist Plus isn't the same features as part of the Copilot 360 on the Maverick. So on the Maverick, Copilot 360 is your lane keeping and your bliss. Those are actually standard on an Outer Banks. So that's not a constraint item. It's but you added the tech package, and Copilot 360 is this 360 Assist Plus package, and that is a little constrained, but only on stock orders. They're going to focus those on the retail orders, so it doesn't look like it's going to hurt your build. In fact, it's not even a constraint item anymore. Used to be the Copilot 360 Assist Plus was a constraint on the Bronco Sport for retail orders, and is not only for stock orders. So you're good. Tech package as well, shouldn't have any issues there. So you're good to go. Steven, how you enjoying your Bronco? Well, Tim, I have my first, second Bronco, depending how you look at it. So, all right. I must have missed a comment earlier, so sorry about that. But hope you're enjoying it. Steven got his Bronco, I think Sunday, maybe Monday, and I think it was Monday. And so hopefully you're enjoying that Bronco. Hopefully you get some nice weather so you can put that top down. But it looked really nice when it was here on the lot, so hope you are enjoying it. All right, Anthony, any lightning production numbers? They don't really give those out. They haven't really listed like allocations here because you get your allocations for the whole model year, and so I'm not sure how they're going to be being allocated. I am curious because we did have 3 people that converted their reservations for Wave 6 invites over. 2 of those converted their orders over. So I am curious to see if they get scheduled for 22 production since we were out of allocations, if their allocation came over with their order. So I'm really curious on that, but we don't really receive that. We receive when they get scheduled information on that, but that's usually about it. So we don't really know on that. So I'd assume Wave 4s and 5s are going to be scheduled real soon. So
So Daniel. All right. So hey Tim, thanks for the email response the other day. Ready for my Maverick to get here. Build date got moved to May 19th now. So hopefully I'll be here in June. Good luck on that. Hopefully it doesn't move anymore for you. Mark said, dealer said my hybrid XLT Maverick order from July is unscheduled clean. What does this mean? I also have a constraint item like Lex package. Unscheduled cleans means that it hasn't been scheduled yet, but it's a clean order. It means there's nothing wrong with the order. There's nothing that can't be built. Doesn't mean there's not delayed items on there like you were mentioning. If I were you, I would take off the tonneau cover. That tonneau cover is probably the killer for you right now, because not only do you have the luxury and the Copilot 360, which is kind of constrained, but you need to take off that tonneau cover. What I would recommend if you were my customer here is, and if it was my order, I would take off your tonneau cover, have them resave that order and get it to priority 2, and then I'd have them contact the brand manager, say, hey, this is a real early July order. Can we get this, be on one of our allocations for this month, get scheduled? So like we have, I'm looking here, for us, we have 17 June, July orders that need to be scheduled and 12 allocations this month. And so my focus is I want those customers to get those allocations. So I emailed all those orders to my brand manager. He hasn't emailed me back yet, but I'm a little concerned about that. But I want those to get scheduled in those 12 allocations. And I mean, and I know the people from August, I want to take care of them as well. But these other people, I think, should get those first. So that's what I'm really trying to push with our brand manager to get those scheduled first. So hopefully that helps. All right. All right. Steven said, Tim, any update on my Bronco? Hey, let's look that up. Click that. Good. Oh, you have the order number there. That's easier anyway. Let's look it up real quick. This doesn't take long. And this, if you have in fact, right now, I'm just now in WebDo. So if I just hit vehicle visibility, log in real quick, and then verify that I'm who I say I am, and put in order number and search. That's how quick it takes. It doesn't take long. So, okay, we do have a VIN number. It does say produced, but it still has not updated. So it's sitting there along with a bunch of other Broncos. We have several that are sitting there in Michigan on top of with yours there, but still has not chip hold. You and I are in the same boat there. Same message on mine too, but yours was produced a couple months before mine. So hopefully no update though. So sorry about that. So what I'll do is, Stephen, I'll start doing is start looking at yours up every single day. First thing I do when I come in, I log in to the system. I look up my expedition order and see if it's changed at all. Still no status update for over a month now. So I'll do the same for yours, Stephen. If I get an update, I'll email you. All right. So I'll include yours in my daily check. All right. So Jay asked, oh wait, I skipped over a bunch of questions. All right. Jay asked, Tim, I got a VIN and a build date week of May 9th. All right. Lariat 360 hybrid. Is this a solid build week, or will constraints affect it? I'm not sure on the weekly. All we have is constraints on getting a build scheduled. If you're scheduled, there is a possibility it could get pushed back. Depends on parts and such. But if you're scheduled at this point, that's next week. It's probably going to be pretty solid that it's going to stay there. So be my guess. All right, Steven said, Tim, you just don't know it is so comfortable to drive, but you already know that. Yep. So Steven has a Bronco. Yep. All right. Bowles, good to see Ridgeview, Johnny, and all of them, all the Maverick, McArthur members. Yep. All right. Hi, Tim. Two questions. My build week for my Maverick is next week. Awesome. I don't see the window sticker yet. When should I see it? Also, escape constraints. Probably Friday. I would be looking Thursday, Friday. I've noticed that on a lot of mine. I don't usually go looking for other customers, but on my Bronco, I was curious. I was able to pull mine like the Friday before my build week. So try Friday and see. Try Thursday as well, but Thursday, Friday, maybe even Saturday is when you should still be able to pull that. And escape constraints, I don't think there are any. There aren't any escape constraints, but I will tell you they're not scheduling escape this month. So that's a constraint in itself, right? All right, so Johnny tagged me here. Make sure I got everything else. All right, my local dealer is much smaller than McArthur, and this could be a Canadian thing, but we have lately gotten 2 Max, 3 Mavericks delivered per month lately. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's kind of weird that you that they already know that your order's going to be pushed to 23, which is concerning there. Because we haven't gotten that. So we have 12 allocations this month, and for us in the U.S., we know they said that they're going to be producing into October. So hopefully, they're scheduling for July, so we still have August and at least September, um, and maybe close out in October. So hopefully, we have 3 more months of allocations yet to go here. All right, Clarence said you talk about lift packages. How about a lowering package? Maybe 2 inches and even fender skirts. I'm a 50s that kind of guy. Yes, we have actually a truck that we actually came up with about, I don't know, 5 years ago. We called it our lightning bolt package. We lowered it, so it does have a lowering kit on it. It's on our website. If you go into our Ford Performance tab at the top, there's a little black icon. Click on that, and there's one on the lightning bolt where we lowered it down. So we should be able to do that on the Maverick as well. If you're talking Maverick, should be able to do that. We haven't tried that yet, but we have to have a Maverick to try it on. So all of them have been. None of our customers have asked us to do that for us yet. Yes. So Paul said, as a courtesy to all, I'm prefacing, yes. Put @ McArthur helps me out because I'm actually going through those first, and then if I've caught up on everything, then I'll come back through and see if I've missed anybody's. But yeah, tag that @ McArthur really helps me out. How constrained are the hybrid Mavericks? I heard you say 40%. Does that mean it's 60% being built capacity or 40%? That means that if they're like this, what they're scheduling for July is 2,800 units. So that means, what was that number? 1,600, or was it 1,500? Where's Maverick? There it is. So 1,540 are going to be EcoBoost, and 1,260 are going to be hybrid. That should come out to 60-40 split. So that means 40% constraint. That means they're not going to be just ordering them, you know, at will. If it gets to 50, then that's usually not a constraint anymore. So at this point, it's going to be a, 60% 40, which, for us, we actually have an even number of orders. We have 100, I think, this document over here. We have 111 EcoBoosts that need to be scheduled and 110 hybrids that need to be scheduled yet. So we're at a 50-50 there. So we're getting closer. So, all right. Any other questions? I think I'm caught up. Anything I missed? No. It's only 8 o'clock. Usually, guys keep me here till 8:30. Come on now. I try to ramble through to get your questions. If you have any questions on anything I covered, just a lot, let me know. Did I get any emails on? I have 3 emails. One of them is on F450. Any constraints? Go over those. Super Duty, twin panel moonroof. By the way, if you're looking at Super Duty, that's constrained about a third, or 22 to 28%, depending on the dealer. Platform running boards is 18 to 24%, which is kind of unusual. 6.2 liter engine is constrained a little bit, 20-30%. Lariats with the quad beam LED headlights, LED fog lights, LED tail lights are constrained to 25 to 35%. So not a lot on the Super Duty, other than the fifth wheel prep package. Now actually they're saying for fleet, so looks like that's not constraint for custom orders, but for stock orders on Super Duties, tonneau covers, spray-in liners, adaptive steering. But it looks like retail orders, they're good, so it's not constrained on retail orders. And then F-150, again, it's your bed accessories. Max recline seats are 0% right now. So if you have that on an F-150 order, you better take it off. Spray and bed liner, tonneau covers, trimmer package is very low. I haven't seen one here in a long time. Your black appearance packages, XLT, Lariat, Platinum, STX, very low numbers right now. I noticed that I couldn't add a black appearance package to an F-150 order the other day. So, all right, got some more questions here. David said, "Hi Tim, I have a 1115 hybrid XLT Lux with Copilot 360. Any way I can switch to Lariat with Lux? I probably won't get a 22 as a trick when getting bumped to change." Okay, earlier we mentioned on how to make sure that dealers do price protection. One of the things we did mention was that if you change the trim from XLT to Lariat trim, it will change your receipt date, which also then you lose price protection. So that is something that you might want to keep in mind. So, hi Tim, any rebates at auto shows? I think if they see that you attend an auto show, somehow they're able to get your name, address. They're sending out rebates for those. I think seen some people. A lot of them were expiring on some of those rebates. They had to either take delivery or order within that window. A lot of people missed that window. But I think there are some. Yes, they are still getting scheduled. Get past that. I caught it even though it wasn't tagged. But yeah, they are still scheduling those on Thursday. It's just they're not notifying dealers on Thursdays on the Maverick. I noticed they are on some of the other models, but not Maverick. Um, so what we're doing here is we're able to see which ones are scheduled, and I've been emailing our customers and letting them know and giving them their VIN number and their build, then their week of tentative week as of right now when it's scheduled. So they are scheduling on Thursdays, so you can, like on Friday, call the Ford support line and see if yours got scheduled. Next week is probably going to be the big week. The next, not this week. This week again is a cleanup week. If your dealer has allocations, then you could get scheduled. But again, if you don't, then it's going to be next week is going to be the bigger week to get scheduled. We'll probably have all 12 of ours scheduled next week. All right, Joel said, "I received my F-150 Lightning 15 minutes after reveal ended. Can I possibly get my truck from your dealership sooner than Washington State?" Not necessarily. What I've told a lot of Lightning customers is switching dealers, I don't think will actually move you up much. Because I think they're giving allocations based on orders and times where orders are at, because they can see that. So I think, like especially if when they start sending out wave invites, I think those invites are gonna be based on timestamps for those dealers. So that's what I think. So kind of what I've been telling people is, we'd love to take your orders, but I hate to take too many. But also, I kind of been telling dealers is that, don't always switch dealers because you want to move up or down on a list, but do it because of the dealership. If you'd rather work with the dealership, we're doing MSRP on all of our Lightnings. Some dealers are not, so we've had people switch over to us for that fact, and we'll take all people over and take their orders and their reservations, I should say. But that's what I look at. If you talk to your dealer and they're going to mark it up, maybe ask around your local area. If you can't find something, hey, you can switch over to us. We will honor MSRP, but I don't know where that's going to sit in the timeline of our orders. So basically, where you're going to come in right where you would sit in those orders. I will tell you, we have about 20 people that reserved in the first hour of the reveal on our list. So our first, I think 20 or maybe even 30 are in the first 1 to 2 hours of the reveal. If you ordered within 15 minutes, I would say that probably puts you at about 10 to 15, somewhere in there. We actually had people that are on our list that still have not gotten an invite that are actually at negative 20 minutes because they found a backdoor link to be able to get theirs ahead of time. And so they're actually at 0 minutes. So anyway, that's about where you probably set on the line. But yeah, we'll take it. You would call the 800 number to get that switched over to us. Tim, when do you expect the first F-150 Lightning deliveries to happen? Well, let's see here. Let's look. Our demo should be here anytime, I think. I think I saw something somewhere where somebody already got their demo unit. All right, pretty easy. I know the body code for Lightnings. 511A. Most everybody ordered a 511A or 710A. All right, so we have schedule. Yeah, ours actually is sitting off site, so it must be waiting to get moved out, our demo unit. But our first lightning, our wave 1 lightning person, um, has been scheduled for a build week of 520, build day of 525. So it'll probably be the end of June when it gets here, be my guess. Mine should be probably July. Right. All right. Charles said one thing I would like to see is Sirius XM and option on all trim levels on the Maverick. I think at least XLT. I don't know about XL, but at least XLT. I've seen that option sometimes put in there with cruise control on some models. So yeah, I'll jot that down. All right, Ronald said I ordered a Platinum Power Boost with 702A in January. Should I remove the wheel well liners? Do you think it will be moved to 23? Wheel well liners should not affect your build. I don't think that wasn't listed on the F-150. No, wheel well liners was not mentioned. The hard part is, oh well, actually it is. Yeah, it is. I missed it. It is 0%. So yeah, I would take that off. Yeah, so you probably should take that off. But we have found platinum are just taking so long to get platinums. In all the luxuries, King Ranch platinums, limiteds, those are just taking so long to get scheduled. Um, it's difficult. I don't think necessarily get pushed to 23. Um, they're going to be. Let's see. Let me find the graph that shows. Here it is. On F-150. They're going to be producing F-150s into October. So October 16th is the balance out of F-150. So they're going to be building those through into the middle of October. So I'm not sure. Again, they don't want to push any of these orders to another year. They made a big point of that in some of our calls. So hey, I got a 10B in here. 10B. Sorry. All right. So hi Tim, was wondering if you could give me an update on my order and if you think I will receive my order this year. Order numbers. Okay, your order isn't with us. I can tell by the order number. You have to contact your dealer. The ones I'm able to look up, because I don't work for Ford, I work for a long McArthur Ford. So if for me to look up, the order has to be with our dealership. I can look up our orders, not anybody else's. So you'll have to contact your dealer to look that order up. All right, Joel said, are you still selling at MSRP? Yes. How difficult for me to buy from your state and drive it back to Washington State? Not difficult. And we're doing that on ordered units. I will say if it's a stock unit that comes in, they are at market value, which we just lowered a bunch of prices today that'll reflect probably tomorrow on a bunch of our vehicles. Looking, seeing, what's coming in. We need to sell these. Ford, gives us extra. They've changed the reframing. Selling vehicles, how many you sell by the 10th, I think, or 15th of the month. You get more allocations sent to you at the end of the month, starting real soon. So, we look at that. So, some vehicles they sell quickly with higher markup, but our stock units some of them will be marked up, some of them will be marked down. We have 21 expeditions that need to move quickly, and they're below. I mean, we have those marked under MSRP, probably close to invoice at this point. Really just depends on the model. Bronco Sport, market value on Bronco Sport was 10,000 over MSRP on some of those vehicles several months ago, but now our prices have come down. We're about $5,000 over, I think, maybe a little more on those right now, because that's where the market sits right now. We're always looking at eBay to kind of tell us, what are dealers trying to sell theirs for, and it gives us a good idea of what the market is and the market value is on those. So our stock units, we are marking those up. Any ordered units, MSRP, other than specialty vehicles like Raptor and like Shelby, those are different. But anything else, MSRP, including Lightning, Maverick, any of those vehicles. So yeah. Is it still possible to get July order this year? Maverick Hybrid XLT with luxury N360. Yeah, I mean Maverick Hybrid XLT with luxury 360. Yeah, so you do have
to possibly get July order this year. So you have a July, last July's order, right? You should be getting scheduled. So I mean, at this point, I really stress what I did is I made sure I talked to our brand manager and said, we have these June, July orders. I think you guys are overlooking them. Something's going on, especially if you see, if your dealer is seeing that there's orders below yours, similar to yours, getting scheduled. That is a red flag to Ford. You need to, contact the brand manager. I don't know if the zone rep can do much, but I've been reaching out to the brand manager and saying, look, you guys are overlooking these orders. How do I tell my customers, when we have 12, we have all these allocations and can get an order scheduled, and their order is our next order on the list, and it doesn't get scheduled. So that's how I really fight for those orders with our brand managers, and that seems to be working for me so far the last couple months. So, all right, Joel says I haven't been able to order yet. Yeah, if you're looking at Maverick, we can order those in August. So, in fact, a lot of models that are sold out. I have some dates on some of those. So if you're, I mean, we don't have actual dates. We have time frames of when orders will open up, and we'll know more when we get a little bit closer to those dates. All right, I'm upset about Maverick. March 18th order confirmed. Since then, zero news. Only one email from Ford. Delays. Basic XLT hybrid. No accessories. Okay, so I'm a little confused. Probably not March 18th because you couldn't order in March. Orderings opened up in June of last year and closed in July or January 27th. So if you ordered on March 17th, the order actually was not submitted. So XL hybrid, no accessories yet. Yeah, you couldn't order in March. So I bet you probably just typed the wrong month in there. So thanks for the Maverick remote delivery videos. Really helpful. Yeah, I forgot I was going to mention that too. We do have I have a playlist on our YouTube channel. It says Maverick home deliveries or remote deliveries. I'm going to be adding another. I'm going to do a video on the center stack screen that you see on the XL and XLT, kind of a deep dive on what all the buttons do and how you do everything with it, as well as then when you go to Lariat Luxury with that Sync 3, what else you get on top of that. So I'll be doing a video on that eventually and putting it in that playlist. So check out that playlist and keep going. Keep that playlist because I'm going to add a video to that. We'll do one on the Maverick as well. We have a lot of these being delivered all over, and those are videos that hopefully help you out. We have one that's on the flex bed, all that stuff, as well as on the driver controls, even on the hybrid technology, that kind of stuff too. So I have 3 videos in that right now, but we're going to add one when we talk about the center stack screen and everything too. So, all right, thank you, Hathy. Is that how you say that? 199. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So you're welcome. You're welcome. So appreciate that. All right. Any other questions? By the way, if you're not sure if we're going to go live or not Thursday night or Thursday afternoon, but we are Roush is going to be here. They're giving us an award for our sales from last year. We did really well last year in Roush vehicle sales as well as Roush parts sales, which we did really well. So they're going to give us our plaque, whatever, on Thursday. So Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning, afternoon, depends on where you're at. Probably go live, and we'll do that on YouTube or on Facebook. But we'll go live and do that presentation. They're going to do it twice. They're going to do it tomorrow afternoon, and then tomorrow night, or Thursday, not tomorrow, Thursday, and then Thursday night at we have a little get together with the chambers in the area. We're hosting it here, and they're going to do it again there for that as well. So pretty cool. Ranked pretty high nationally, and Roush sales as well as Roush part sales. So pretty cool. That'll be a fun time. Alrighty. Anything else? Did you see that a panic button was added to the Forward Pass app? I did see a horns and lights button. And actually what's funny is because my truck actually has had that button for a while on my vehicle. So my daughter noticed hers too. She says, hey, I noticed this recently. It just got updated. So I don't know on the vehicles, but I know that my Fusion has it on there as well as my F-150 has been on there for a while. Well, it looks like they added it. So I guess that just allows you that if you want
What we do around here is if we're trying to find a vehicle, if we have the remote, we can hit the panic button. Well, now you can do it on your app. So if you need to find your vehicle, you can hit that, and it's going to honk the horns, flash the lights, so you can find your vehicle, right? So, um, all right, I explained incorrectly. Placed order basic XL hybrid in September. Okay, thanks. All right, order confirmed by factory in March 18th. Then no news. Okay, so order by the factory. So the factory won't confirm the order typically, but Ford support might have done that for you to confirm that it was put in. But September hybrid orders, looking at ours, I like to use ours as a comparison after, having 591 orders. I think that kind of helps. So you have a September XL hybrid. So if I look at our our XL hybrids, our first XL hybrid comes up October 4th. So, but we do have a bunch of September orders still unscheduled. Most of those have luxury package. So if you have a September, I would probably check with your dealer. Um, that might be something to consider because our next XL hybrid order is dated October 4th. So it might be something to consider talking to your dealer and seeing if there's something, if there's a constraint item on there, like if you have co-pilot package on there, that can actually hold up yours a little bit, but I could still see that it should still get scheduled. I mean, pretty soon. So, well, it's hard to tell though, because of course, on ours, I will say this on our hybrid orders, even though we do have 17 June, July orders, we do have in August, we also have 20 August orders. All those have the luxury package and co-pilot. So something to consider. I mean, and then when I look at our March orders, March. I just did it. Our September orders, we have 8 September orders. All of those also have the luxury package on them. And then the first vehicle that we have that does not is October 1st. So those luxury packages are holding up a lot of orders. So, alrighty. Anton says, called Ford hotline because I saw people who ordered later than me already received cars. They said it's likely because of 360 or bedliner. I said I don't have either of those. Yeah, you might. I mean, I would, probably wonder if you have an early order, if you do not have the co-pilot or the luxury package, why it's not getting scheduled. But if Ford's able to see it, then Ford's seeing it as well. So it just could have to be like with us. I had some orders that from June, July that I was like, I want these scheduled, so I kind of forced to make sure those are getting scheduled. So, so. All right, Rachel said, I also got the Maverick set up on my Apple Watch. Oh, wow. Really cool. Didn't know you had gone over that in a video too. I have not. I don't have an Apple device. Kind of an anti-Apple guy. So, but I don't have an Apple Watch. So I just go with the old time watches. I'm kind of a watch guy, but they're not digital. None of them. Anyway. All right. Anything else? Yep. All right. So looking pretty good. All right. All right. So Kip said Mavericks this week if dealer has allocations, but they won't know if selected. Correct. So if you get scheduled, because they're still doing scheduling on Thursday, so if you get scheduled, you won't get notified by Ford. So, but you can contact the dealer and they can look it up and see if you got scheduled. So that's probably what I would try. And if your dealer doesn't want to look it up for you, then call Ford's customer support and they can look it up and tell you if you got scheduled or not. So. All right, so it says if the order books are closed in January, February, how does production move along if there are constraints and ship issues with those items? Copilot 360, luxury, spray and bed liner. So the orders had to be in, but that means, okay, basically they took so many orders uh, quickly
that all these orders are sitting there. Like for us, we have 110 hybrid orders, so they're sitting in there, right, and building up. Those orders build up, so we have all these orders waiting to get scheduled because they're able to schedule so many each month. So they've taken so many orders. They've basically taken more orders in a month than what they can build in a month, is what's happening. So constraints are because they know that they can only do so many luxury packages in a certain production time, but they have more orders than what they can do that many of. So let's say if they know that based on parts constraints or parts that they're getting in or time, which I think it's more the time on the luxury packages than it is the parts. That's just my opinion, that they know what they can do in that production cycle. So if they have, if they know that they can, let's say for instance, they have they still got to produce May, June, July, August, September, and October, 6 months of orders, and let's say they know they can do just 100 luxury packages a month, which we know they can do more than that. But let's say they could only do 100, right? Then that's 600 with the luxury packages. Well, if they have 800 orders, they know they're constrained. They know that they won't get those others built. So that's what they mean by that, and why those get pushed back. So they have holes. Yeah, Jack Roush doesn't come give the awards. It's usually representatives from Roush that comes and gives awards. Usually our rep, our area rep that brings those awards to us. But Jack Roush has been here. I've been here twice. Did signed some autographs. Do I have my Jack Roush? Oh, it's on that side. I do have it. I do have a Jack Roush signed autograph around here on the other side, but it was kind of fun seeing him here. So, all right. Orders handling first 3 months orders by date ordered, bypassing allocation system. I'm getting my truck next month. Cool. Good. Yeah, that's like I said, they're trying to go by that route. I mean, we have orders. Our Ford rep gave us, here are the orders that are going to be scheduled for the Maverick, and I'm like, no, I think that what that means is that those orders are the ones that earned allocations for you for that month, but they should be taking the early ones first, right? That's what we know. So hopefully that's what's going to happen from here on out. When does ordering close for the Bronco Sport this year? We don't know. Once they have taken enough retail orders, like at this point, they don't have enough retail orders to feel like they need to close, because they are actually scheduling stock allocations right now too. We actually received 3 stock Bronco Sports recently because for a while we didn't have any retail orders. So until they have more retail orders than what they can handle and build, then they'll keep taking those orders. Because at this point they're filling in with stock orders. So and like most of them, they will only there were several of the vehicles that I mentioned that they were only going to be scheduling COVPs. That meant retail customer orders. Bronco Sport is not one of those. As we did see, they actually did say that they're opening up, because before it was Badlands were only going to be reserved to retail orders because they were getting enough Badland retail orders. They knew how many they could make. Now they're not getting enough Badland orders, that they're opening up for dealers to be able to get stock Badland orders. And we haven't had one of those since they came out with the Badlands, I don't believe. So anyway, that's the way that works. So Bronco Sport, we don't know. They haven't given us any dates, so evidently they don't have enough orders that they need to close it out yet. All right. Will January orders, EcoBoost, Lariat, Luxury, 4x4 be pushed to 23? If so, is that a clean transition, or does a new order need to be made? Okay, so we don't know where the cutoff and how that's going to work. Based on information that we have from previous models, usually like on the Bronco, the way they did it was they took all the orders that were still left in there. If they did not get scheduled and they closed out and there was orders left, they duplicated those orders as a new model year. So on the Maverick, they'll see the 22 orders that are in there. They'll duplicate those orders as 23s. Take those orders will be a priority 99, and then that way we can look at that. That way we can still see that original 22 order in there and see how it was built. So we can make sure we mirror it with 23. Because if there's any changes, then there might be customers may want to change something. I don't know yet whether or not those customers are going to be able to switch over they're from an EcoBoost to hybrid. Like we had some customers that missed the deadline on hybrid, so they went ahead and ordered an EcoBoost. So we've had some people ask me, say, well, when that comes around, will I be able to go and choose a hybrid? I don't know. Here's my thought on that is I think that you can choose a hybrid, but then it'll probably change your date so you won't be price protected anymore. Because we know that if you change the body code or the motor, usually that will change whether or not you're price protected. So that might, you'll lose price protection more than likely. But really, to be honest, if you're on an XLT, it's only $80 unless you're looking at a luxury package. Then it's like what, a couple $100. But if you go hybrid, you drop down $1,000. So actually, you're better off anyway, right? So, all right. Any other questions? We do not know when the ordering will be open for Mach E. I will tell you that we know where build out is. I just need to keep a copy of that. Close. All right, so on the Mach E, we know that the balance out is going to be at the very end of October. So more than likely, it's going to be August when you can start scheduling for 23. That's typically how that works. Whenever they're going to balance out, they're going to switch things over. So beginning of November is when they're going to start building 23 Mach-E's. So that means they want to have orders, 23 orders in there a couple months prior to that. So more than likely, August sometime, late August is when they'll probably start scheduling Mach-E's again. So keep that on your calendar. If Ford is trying to produce all Maverick orders for 22, that means they have to schedule another 221 for you guys, right? Correct. That is what, about 73 a month if they're scheduling for July. Yep. I know. That was our concern. See, last month I was like, hey, I think we're pretty good, Kate. 21, we get about, 50 a month, 55 a month, that we're going to be fine. But then we only had 12 for this month. That put a wrinkle on everything right there. So yeah, we would need 73 more after this month to get scheduled to fulfill the rest of our orders. So I am a little concerned, if I want to be truthful, whether or not those all get scheduled. But we don't really know what August production and September production is going to look like. So we'll just have to see. So I do think, and they did say that there are going to be orders for people that have the luxury package with the Copilot 360 that are probably going to get pushed to 23. They did say if people don't change those and take those off, in their mind that they could get all of them produced this year if it wasn't for those constraint items. So for people that want the luxury package and are refusing to take it off, those are probably the orders going to get pushed to 23 more than the others. So, we have, all these others down here, that don't have them, that's going to be, those people, that's going to get, we actually had somebody from last July that did take the luxury package off his order. And I will guarantee his will get scheduled this month because he took that off. So we'll just have to see. Now, hopefully our first edition gets scheduled. We have 2 first editions left. All right. All right, I learned my dealer didn't submit my order for 7 months, even though I submitted the order in June with my dealer. Ford didn't get the order until January. Is there anything I can do? No. So, afraid not. Yeah, so once that order is submitted, and actually, it's when the paperwork, the COVP or ROVP paperwork is submitted, that's where that date actually is stemmed from. That's why we try to get ours in the same day that we take our orders. Take our orders, get the copies back from us, submit those copies that same day. So we like to do it the same day the order is because it's usually once the COVP and the paperwork docs are submitted, that's where that date actually is stemmed from for them to look for allocations. So. Any idea what percentage of F-150s coming off the line are getting put in storage for missing chips? I don't. I don't even know what percentage for any of the models really are. Not sure. Good question. And I don't think Ford will tell us either. All right, so John said, deposit check cleared end of September for a hybrid XLT with rubber mats and tow package. Should I have heard anything about it being scheduled by now? Such a clear. September hybrid XLT. Okay. Well, deposit. You didn't have to actually get a deposit on Mavericks. So the deposit money has nothing to do with it. Okay, September for a hybrid XLT with rubber mats and tow package. Well, you can't get a tow package on an XLT, on a hybrid. That would be a concern that I have with your order. Should I have heard anything? I would check with your dealer on that, John, because you cannot get a tow package with the hybrid. You have to go all-wheel drive EcoBoost to add the tow package on it. So I would be concerned on your order if you actually put the tow package on there or not. You can't do that on that. So I would actually be checking on that. Back in September, they actually did away with, they actually had it to begin with that you could get the tow package with the front wheel drive, but they changed it and made it where it wasn't available. You had to go all wheel drive to add the tow package. So I'd probably be looking at your order and seeing if it's even a buildable order. Might have to make some changes on it. Definitely, well, it shouldn't have the tow package on there. It's just, it's not buildable. All right, Paul said, I have an F-150 King Ranch ordered in October 21, EC02. Okay, Friday code 02. My dealer says he can't delete options because of this code. Okay, I actually showed this here earlier. If you want to take a screenshot of this, that's how they want to make those changes. So they can make changes. All right, so you can make changes to that easily. You basically what they have to do is take that priority 2. They have to change it to a 10, make your changes, then submit, hit the submit button. And then once they're done, then they'd email your zone rep, the dealer would need to, and ask them to change it back to a priority 2. And they would need to know the order number, body code, and the customer name so they can make sure that gets put back into priority 2. That's how that needs to be done. There you go. I've done a lot of them that way. The reason I know, I actually typed that up myself because I've done a bunch of these. All right, did I miss? Looks like I missed a question there. All right, yeah, tag at one McArthur. I'll get to it. When do you expect opening again for new orders for the Maverick? In August? Are they increasing the price? Probably. I don't know. Here's my take on the XL. That won't go up. They like having that $20,000 price range. So I don't believe the XL will go anywhere. I could see the XLT going up a little bit, but probably not a lot. So I would say more the packages probably could go up more than anything. So all right. But yeah, we won't really know until we see order guides and such for next year. I'm an October Maverick order. If I get pushed back to 23, will it be price protected or totally new order? It won't be a totally new order. It'll be that order duplicated for Ford. They'll be able to tell. What'll happen is those orders will be dated before anybody else could order. So they'll when they do, they decide they've already cut that off. They'll duplicate that order, and it'll have that timestamp of that date when they duplicated that order. That'll be the timestamp on the new order. But then other 23 orders won't be able to be submitted yet at that point. It'll get a date. Like, well, I can look at our, like for instance, I can look at our Bronco orders in here, and I can tell you which ones are the ones that got rolled over from 21 because they're all dated the same date in the ordering system. So anyway, probably have to find one. That one's not one. Here, this one might be. There, I think 10/8 was the date that they did that switch. So I think they're all dated the same. It was at the beginning of October, I believe. But they'll all have the same date, so I can tell, hey, that was one of our orders that got rolled over. That one's actually produced. There you go. So, there you go, 10/8. So there's another one, 10/8. So that's what well they'll do with that as well, is they'll roll those orders over and be dated that, and then all the other orders that come in after that will, of course, can't be dated that same date. They'll be after that. So then they'll be able to tell that these are the ones that were from 22. And so they won't be new orders. So that's why I recommend if people are concerned that their order is going to get rolled over, they're like, well, I'll just cancel. I'll just start a new order. Well, don't do that because you kind of lost your place in line in a sense. And so you don't want to do that unless you don't want to go to a different dealership. Maybe you want to, I mean, we've had people say, I want to order with you. You can't move an order to another dealer, but you'd have to cancel your order and order a new one. That would be the only way to do that. But your order would stay in there, and it would not be a new order. So when do you expect opening new orders? Okay. All right. Pete said Ford should standardize all tail lights to be LEDs. LEDs activate almost instantly. I agree. There are a lot of them that are LEDs, but there's still quite a few that aren't quite yet. So I agree with you there. Hundreds of F-150s in storage here in St. Lee Summit, Missouri. You should see if any of them are for our dealership. So we do have some. We actually don't have. We did look. We sold 60 Mavericks last month. 59 the month before. Those all came from that when we had 100 that were scheduled in last November, December. So we looked and we probably maybe have 30 coming in this next month. So I know that we have some people that if one becomes available, they're asking for that. I've had a couple people refer to me for that. It's not looking really good that we're going to have some because only 30 coming in. Most people do take theirs. We may have, maybe a handful of those 30 that might become available, if even that many. So may not be able to help some people get into Mavericks. So they're probably all going to be taken from those customers there. So Rachel said, good night, all. Eastern time zone. Thanks, Tim, and entire McArthur team. Yep, I will. Next week I'll be in Tampa, Florida. So I'll be in Florida. So hopefully it's nice and sunshiny there. All right, Donald said, Tim, if you got an earlier email but didn't get one last week, you think it will be scheduled this year? EcoBoost Luxury FX4. I'm not sure what email you're mentioning. Probably you're thinking about the one where they recommended taking things off. You have EcoBoost Luxury FX4 Copilot 360. Just depends on what you have on your order, or I mean, not what you have, but when you ordered, about whether or not it gets scheduled. It's really hard to tell, and depending on what orders you have at your dealership too. So. Well, Kip, we've actually had some people do that. We've had a couple people that had an order with a dealer. We're a little nervous. They put in a second order with us just in case, their dealer didn't honor the price protection and tried to mark it up or anything. So they've actually done that. So some of our orders are like that. We've recently canceled a couple orders because of people that did that, and then their order just went just fine. So that we did go ahead and cancel theirs. Now, if we had something, I think it was like an EcoBoost or something, but if we have like a hybrid order that someone could take, we go ahead and leave it in there. So that way, and with their permission, of course, somebody cancels and they don't want it, we usually will ask them, do you mind if we leave it in there for other people that might be looking to get a Maverick? And about all of them have said, yeah, go ahead, that's fine, doesn't bother me. So some people don't and will cancel their order. If they do, then we'll leave that in there, and that will give an opportunity to somebody that maybe missed a window or something on their order to be able to do that. So we have a couple of those. I think we have like I think we have about a handful of people that have done that. That those orders are in there, but again, they're scheduled later, so that's they're not going to be a little later before they get scheduled. But all right, any other questions? Did you already talk about Super Duty production? Yep, about 21,000 units are scheduling in the month of May for June production. So still pretty good production out of Super Duty this next month. Oh, where did I have that? Yep. So 21,000 for June production. Pretty good numbers there. So if you have a Super Duty on order, hopefully you get scheduled. F-150 is an almost 19,000 June order, June production. So producing them. So, and then some of the constraint items in the past, they had said on retail orders you needed to take off some of the commodities. See if I can find Super Duty here. They don't put them in order. I don't know why. My models, my position. Okay, all right. So they do say that that you can restrict it to retail only. They do say take off the fifth wheel prep package, and adaptive steering if you have it, tonneau covers,
And then retail order. Okay, yep. So those are really the main things. Is those tonneau covers, the fifth wheel prep package. If you have an optional spray and bed liner, if you can take it off, those kind of things. Kind of the same things for Maverick, other than the fifth wheel prep package, right? So anyway, all right. Well, unless you have some other questions for me, does a blend date on the window sticker represent the build date? I'm not sure. Somebody asked me that, and I haven't been able to find the answer to that yet. So I might have to do some more investigating on that. So it's on my top of my list. I try to get to when I get a chance, but not sure on that. So able to order a Roush 250 Super Duty through you? Yep, we can do that. In fact, right now Roush can't build ones unless they're custom orders at this point. So, we're not able to get any stock Roush allocation. So that's how we'd have to order it for some of those. So, anyway, so yeah, we can do that. In fact, we haven't seen one in a while, so we'd love to do that. So, it's always fun. We got a couple Roush F-150s recently because F-150s we are able to see some retails or some stock ones for those. So, we're getting some stock ones that are getting picked up that we can drop ship to Roush for F-150. So, we got a space white one in, which is gorgeous. A couple other white ones. We got some 22s in, and they look great. But we're not able to get any Super Duties unless they're retail allocations right now. So, all right. Alrighty. So, I think that's about it. So, I go. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. It is now an hour and 45 minutes. I appreciate all the questions. And hopefully I answered all your questions that you might have had. And don't forget, you can email me at fordvideoguy@gmail.com if you have any other questions I didn't answer, and I can answer those for you. Don't forget, if you have any suggestions for things to add to that you think you'd like to see for the 23 Maverick, I'm going to be doing a video that hopefully I can send to the brand managers and other people, and something that they need to think about before they start changing things for 23. So make sure you send those to fordvideoguy@gmail.com with the subject 23 Ford Maverick changes, and tell me what you'd like to see changed on for the 23 model year. So put those suggestions in there, and we'll make a video. So getting those this week, and I'll try to do a video towards the end of the week, or maybe even Saturday, for us to edit on my plane ride to Tampa. All right. Again, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to smash that like button for me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for joining me today. And of course, to my members, appreciate each and every one of you as well. And of course, my moderator. I don't thank him enough. Ridgeview, you do an awesome job. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much for helping me out. And everybody have a great night. Bye.